You're trying to follow emotion. Are you remembering to get a specific cue or trigger? A lot of times therapists will hear something that sounds really compelling, like, oh, this is where I just feel like I'm not good enough. And then they'll jump to that and they might say, can you give me an image? Or what is that like on the inside? And they've forgotten to ask questions that would help you see the big picture. What's happening on the outside that tells you you're not good enough? What's happening between you and your partner? What's happening on your partner's face? Is it a tone of voice? What's the cue? What sets it all off on the inside? When you get a very specific trigger or cue that starts the process of emotion, you're going to get a much more accurate felt sense of what's happening internally. This is really, really important. If you learn to do this, when you do your move 1 and you're tracking the cycle and you go all the way through the tango, it's going to be a lot more clear at the end because you started with a specific tangible cue or trigger. We really want to know what's happening before we can know what it feels like on the inside. So part of what's happening is, what is it that's telling you XYZ, right? And sometimes I know that therapists will kind of not know what to do when the cycle takes over right in front of them. Like it's a little bit of a kind of freeze moment. But this is the best way to get really specific and tangible because it's happening right here. Oh, let me slow you down. I think it's happening right now. What's the hard part? What's the hard part that kind of gets you feeling like you need to explain yourself? What is it that's happening? What was it? And sometimes the client will say, well, my partner's being really defensive. Okay, so that's the hard part, right? That's the specific cue or trigger. And now we can slow down. And remember, when we do ask for a cue or trigger, we're not trying to follow content. Our goal is different. Our goal is to assemble emotion. And so be careful in how you ask the question. You don't want a play-by-play of he said, she said. You just want to know in general, in times like this, in moments like this, what's the hard part? What's the specific kind of cue? Like, let me see it through your eyes. Okay, so specific cue and trigger, that's one tip or tool in trying to sort of fine-tune your EFT work. If you want more, I would love to have you join me in Superpower Plus. This is a webinar series. It's $10 a month, a subscription, and I'm using deliberate practice to teach EFT skills. So hopefully you come away each month with one thing to practice. We're having so much fun. I would love for you to join us. All the information you need to know is in the description below in this video.